I've been getting this question both online and offline of people asking me how profitable is transportation business in Nigeria. So before I answer that question, I want to tell you that I have more than 8 years experience in transportation business, ranging from tricycle, the one that is popularly known as Keke Napepe in Nigeria, the minibus, that is high jet minibus, and then Sienna transportation. I've been in this business for a long time, so I can categorically tell you what it entails to be in this business. I'm not talking about the theoretical aspect of it or the hearsay. I mean, what people are telling you about transportation business in Nigeria. I'm talking about real practical experience, being in the field, investing your money, investing your time, and being involved physically, in this kind of business. So that is what I'm going to be sharing with you in this series. You can't afford to miss it, especially if you're interested in doing transportation business in Nigeria, or you are intending to become part of it or the part of the ecosystem of transportation in Nigeria. Of course, I'm not talking about transportation companies. I'm talking about private individuals, people like you and I that are hustling from different kind of businesses to raise money, or even trying to use your own personal car to involve yourself in transportation business. Those are the people I'm talking about. Of course, that is what this channel is all about from the scratch. In Nigeria, we are used to success. Everybody wants to identify with the Otedolas, the Dangotes, the Lumelus, the Dorotonyes, and others. I mean, others that have already made names in their different human endeavors. But nobody wants to talk about the people in the streets that make up more than 80% of businesses in Nigeria. I'm talking about the small and medium scale enterprises in Nigeria, especially those ones that did not make it to the top. That is what this channel is all about, from the scratch, the experiences from the streets, the experiences of business startups from the trenches, and business people that are not heard anywhere. Those are the people that this channel is actually meant for, from the scratch. So don't forget to keep in touch with us. In case you are seeing this video for the first time, don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, and share. And also make it a point of duty to always be with us in this channel. As I promise you, you can't afford to miss this series, because I'm going to be giving you details of transportation, ranging from tricycle, minivan, what they call keke bus, or korope in Nigeria. I'm sorry if I didn't get that right. And also investing in Sienna transportation business. You can't afford to miss that. Anyways, my name is Chijioke Chikwesere, an economist, a business strategist, a serial entrepreneur, and most importantly, your business guardian. If you are ready with me, let me share my story. So if you are ready to walk down this memory lane with me, I mean the memory line of my business experience in transportation sector, grab your notepad and also your popcorn. You are going to learn a lot. Let's go there. So there is no doubt that transportation business is one of the most lucrative businesses in Nigeria anyone can ever think of, especially when you consider the fact that people must move from point A to point B. Not only people, including goods and services, they must move from one point to another. And when you consider this, you know that transportation business is indeed a lucrative business. So when I started my own transportation business, I actually started with tricycle, also known as Keke Napep in Nigeria. That was, I think, in 2017. And in that business, I was able to learn, relearn, and also unlearn most of the things we are told, or most of the things I was told prior to starting this business, was not actually what I saw in the field. But before I come to that, my focus in this particular episode of this series, Transportation Business in Nigeria, is focused on Sienna business, using Sienna for transportation, because that is actually one of the popular demands I've been getting from people, asking me both online and offline of my experiences, whether it's actually a lucrative business for them to, venture into. But before I answer that question, I want to actually share my own experience with you. And this experience, I'm going to share it raw, the way it is. I'm not going to hide anything. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. So prior to starting my transportation business, I actually made some efforts to hear from people that were already doing this business. And I got a lot of positive responses. People telling me it's a very lucrative business. You are going to make a lot of money. Someone, a friend, self was even telling me that congratulations for joining, for leaving Tricycle and moving into Sienna. That means you have moved into the Millionaires Club. I received this kind of overhyping, in that kind of business, in this Sienna transportation. So when I sat down to do my own analysis, especially from where I am, I now realize that from out my proposed Sienna will be running from point A to point B. So I was actually looking at it because Sienna was supposed to carry 7 passengers, that is apart from the driver. And then from my point to the point that the Sienna, the destination, or the city that the Sienna will be, transporting people to, this particular distance was supposed to be 1,500 naira per passenger. And then I sat down in my room after getting all this kind of positive encouragement that is actually a lucrative business. So I sat down in my room and I calculated as a businessman. Of course, if you're a businessman, you must be very, very close to your calculator every time. For people that are doing business, they will understand, because everything you want to put it to figures. Business people understand figures more. So I actually sat down in my room and then I calculated, if I am to, you know, uh, if this my Sienna that's supposed to carry 7 passengers apart from the driver, and each passenger is going to be paying me 1,500 from the point where they are loading to the point where they are supposed to offload their passengers. So that means per trip, I'm going to be getting not less than 10,500 naira. At least that is the official money I'm expected to get. The one of people sending my driver to deliver packages like envelopes, maybe whatever. That one is not my business, because that one is for the driver. So it's now at the mercy of the driver, or what if the driver is a good person. That's the person that may want to share that with you. But apart from that, the one I'm focusing is the real reason why I decided to venture into transportation business, that is conveying passengers from point A to point B. So what actually happened to me, I sat down in my room, I was able to put a figure to it, that at the point of loading, at least I'm sure of 10,500. And then at the point of, so when when my driver get to the other point where they are supposed to offload the passengers, they are supposed to load from there, then return back to where they picked the passengers. That means if they go from here to that place, I will get 10,500. Then if they come from there to this other side, I'm going to get 10,500. That is about 21,000 naira. So I calculated my fuel. I now realize that for me to go to that place and come back, that means I'll be spending, as of the time I started the transportation business, excuse me, as of the time I started the transportation business, I was supposed to be spending 10,000, 2,500 for fuel. So that means if peradventure I get 10,500, I'm going to get 2,500. So and that 2,500, then I'll buy ticket 500. That is about 3,000 naira. So that means I will still have about 7,500. So if my Sienna have to go from where I am to the other states and then return back, that means I'll be making 14,000. So if that means if the Sienna have to go like move from here to the other side, then come back and return again and come back, that is 2 trips in a day. That means I'll be making something like that is 7,000 plus 7,000, that's 14, that is 28,000 naira. So in my little mind, I was saying, wow, 28,000 naira, that is a good business. So out of the 28,000 naira, I was even saying, okay, maybe out of the 28,000, let's even assume I'm giving my driver 10,000 naira. That means I will still have about 18,000 naira to keep for myself. So if you now times 18,000 naira times 10 days, that is 180,000 naira. Then times 20 days, that is 360,000 naira. So even if it's only 20 days that my vehicle is working, I don't have issues. At least I'm sure of 360,000. I was so excited to an extent that I made my inquiries once again, and people were just giving me the green lights. I mean, people in the park, everybody was even saying, I'm ready to drive. There are some drivers everywhere. So I was like, wow, this is really, really going to be a turnaround, like a boom for my business journey. So I now said, okay, what should I do? Okay, let me now uh, I first of all, because before I decided to move into Sienna business, I was doing, as I mentioned before, I was doing tricycle business, and I've been able, we have been able, myself and my team, we have been able to give out more than uncountable numbers of tricycles for hire purchase. So I would say, with what I know today, with my experience that I later had, I would say that it was actually, I was lucky, to have successfully, completed those hire purchase transportation deals with the people I did it with. So out of those people I did that business with, I was able to pick 10 serious people, people that were very serious and focused, and these people have already finished paying their own agreement, their own side of the agreement of the hire purchase. I was so excited, so I brought them closer. They were very young people. I just had only one of them that was far older than me. So I brought them closer. I treated them like family. I made them to really, really see my reasons. So what I did, as someone that understands management, I tied their own little goal of being independent to my own bigger goals. That is what management is. So I'm inspiring them as a leader to make sure that they achieve their own goals while indirectly they are also achieving mine. So I had a meeting with them. I said, yes, now that you people have owned your own tricycles through hire purchase with me, so what next? Are you people going to stay here? And I wouldn't want that, because myself, I had the mind of venturing into Sienna business. Then from Sienna, I will now move into dump trucks. You get, but I don't have the money because, as I mentioned earlier, I'm coming from the scratch. I'm coming from the scratch. I don't have the money. Even our names, then we don't have the names to approach a bank. The bank will not, even their database will not recognize our names. They cannot give us loans. So we can actually, we just want to start from the scratch, come up with something that knowing fully well that nobody is there for us. So we want to just create our own wealth by ourselves. So I met with these people and I said, okay, since you people have completed this task, what should we do next? Okay, let us now move into something bigger. Keep your tricycles, you can give it to somebody, but I will start with one person, as there is not enough resources. So I will actually buy one, give to one person. When the person is paying the higher purchase, if it reaches up to a certain level, I will acquire another one. So that is how I will do until I complete the 10 of them to have their own Siennas. Then when they are done with Sienna, me, I have intention of moving into dump site. I mean, what we call tipper. Sorry, moving into dump trucks, what we call tipper in Nigeria. So that was actually my intention, and it was very fantastic. They were very, very okay. But of course, before you know it, I didn't know that I was actually dealing with the wrong set of people. Why am I sharing this story with you? I mean, my encounter with this set of people. I'm sharing this story not because I'm feeling bad or that I want you to feel bad, but I'm sharing this story because I want to prepare your mind. I want to prepare your mind because of the kind of people you are going to meet in your journey of transportation business. So that is, by the way, when I come to sharing with you the when I come to sharing with you my experience in tricycle business in Nigeria, I will give you the full details of this story. But the crux of this matter, the summary of this palace co that this set of people I was thinking good for actually had for me was that they actually saw that maybe they were thinking that I want to use them to climb the ladder of success. So they decided to break the ladder, not knowing that they were actually breaking their own ladders, because at least at my own level, I was a little bit comfortable. But them, they were just really starting from the scratch. So they were able to frustrate me. Some of them now decided to go their own way. Some of them decided that I buy the cars. I went to buy the car and bring it. They had a coup. Nobody want to drive it. So I decided to go and look for other people and other new set of people by myself. So that is one lesson you have to learn. Lesson one, you don't have to invest in a business you cannot run by yourself. So if you know that you cannot come to the level of managing the transportation business or running the vehicle, or if you don't know how to drive, then you are thinking that you should stay away from that kind of business, at least until you have convinced yourself that you can do it yourself. So back to what I was telling you, I will come back to all these things. Don't worry. Just what you need to do is you need to stay tuned to understand all these things, all my experiences and all those things with these people. So as I was busy calculating my 18,000 naira every day, I never knew that I have stakeholders. I mean, invisible stakeholders that I'm going to be working with. And who are the stakeholders? I didn't put into consideration the people that will be managing the park, where my vehicles will be loading. I didn't also think about law enforcement agencies like the road safety, the police, the VIOs. Then I didn't think about the boss of all of them. That is, I'm talking about the drivers. I didn't think about the drivers. I did not also think about the mechanics that will be servicing this particular vehicle. You know, I didn't think about the mechanics. So these are the things that nobody told me about. And when I got to the field, and I discovered that I'll be working with these people, my dear, it was not funny. It's something that I really, really need to take out my time to explain. So please stay with me. I'll be right back in the second edition. So don't forget to comment, like, and share, and tell me your own experience in the comment section. So I'm going to, when I come back in the next episode, I'm going to be sharing with you my experiences working with law enforcement agencies, my experiences working with mechanics, my experiences working with drivers, my experiences working with the park management authorities, and finally, my experience with the government of that state. I'm talking about the revenue agencies of that state. You can't afford to miss this series. Stay with me. I will see you in the next episode. Bye for now.